And fellas, we are officially live. I want to welcome everyone to the seventh episode of Brothers Vent 2. We got some heat for y'all tonight. Woo! Please leave all your comments and questions and concerns in the comment section, both on YouTube and on Facebook. Starting thing off like we always do with introductions. My name is Brandon, also known as Swift. Tonight, it's going to be a heated episode, so I brought out the Remy. First set. Got to bring out the good stuff for this one.
Damn, that's an upper level.
This your boy T, man. I'm drinking on some wine tonight because I don't want to have no parts of this foolishness. So I'm just gonna keep it chill tonight, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
This your boy Crowley, all the way from the Jack. IBB a King. I also want to give a shout out to the Hustle Hard campaign. You see the shirt, you know what I'm saying? Definitely go shop with your boy T. Definitely the hustle, the grind, the time is gonna equal the shine, baby.
Already.
You left that equation out.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Jay Ward coming to you from Louisiana. You know, trying to bring the knowledge and the unbiased opinion on this thing here. And I'm gonna be drinking a little scotch tonight.
Oh, no, man.
Okay.
Ooh. Step up on the sound. It's your boy CJB here. For the night, I got Remy Martin, VSOP.
No introduction needed, no introduction here. My name's E. Maker's Mark, always GOAT choice.
What is that? Is for real.
That's the
That's the good stuff. You don't know nothing about that. Oh, so
Swift, they can't even go home.
let's not start. We're gonna start this thing off. It is 2020. I'm pretty sure we all see on social media where people put who they are looking for in their partners, especially with women. You always see them say, or you see women say what they prefer in a man. You know, whether he be 6 feet tall, he have a beard, he have a certain financial standing, so on and so forth. But when you see men sometimes say what they want in a woman or who they look for, it's always or sometimes seen as a discrimination against the other side. So in 2020, let's talk about this about men having standards. Can men have standards where it's seen as no impact on the other side or someone that they do not prefer? In 2020, can men have standards and say, hey, you don't meet my standards, I don't want to talk to you because of so on and so forth? What does those look like? Who want to start us off?
Yes, men can have standards.
Yeah.
Listen, I've always been very selective in the type of women that I chose to pursue, that I was willing to talk to, willing to date. And you had to meet what I was looking for in a mate. I was unapologetic about that. Me personally, I think that especially men that carry themselves in a decent way, I don't think that they pretty much have standards for themselves. They just go with the flow. And it's like in today's society, people will, you know what I'm saying, shit on a man if he say he wants his woman to look a certain way. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. It's like that's what he wants, and he has the right to feel like that. Nobody say anything when women who they want a guy that's 6'6" and they 5'2". You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I just feel like you should want what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if it probably, and I feel like most men make the mistake where they feel like a woman is out of their range or out of their reach. There's nobody out of your reach. If you have the will to get her, you will get her. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Shoot. You miss every shot.
You into with that.
So
I say,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh shit, me personally, yeah. Why can't we have standards? Like, just think about it, bro. If we just took any old thing, right? What kind of quality of life is that guaranteeing us? You know what I'm saying? So you mean tell me, right? A woman can say she want a nigga that makes $100,000 a year, right? But we can't want a woman that I don't know, that talk about something else other than partying and fashion, or who don't like to shop all the time. I don't like a woman that you can be like, you can't say that you don't like a woman that gossip all the time. That don't gossip. You know what I'm saying? That's when next thing you know, it's like, oh yeah, you're discriminating, you're shaming women, all that old bullshit. It's just cause we calling them out on their bullshit. That's why they be getting offended. Because women have a problem with accountability.
Exactly.
Ooh.
For real.
Before the next person tune in, I'm gonna drop this comment from Mike. Mike said, I don't feel like men can express their standards. We can't say how we like our women to look, how tall, short, thick, etc. Can't say she got to make X amount, nothing, we're going to get killed. But why is that an issue in today's society? Why is it an issue when men express what they want and what they won't take? As a
social media made niggas soft.
Yeah, man.
Go into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Social media has altered the construct of what is acceptable into today's standards. Everybody now it's like, oh, you can't say this about somebody because their feelings gonna get hurt. Tough motherfucking titty, bruh. Like life is not about lollipops and rainbows and all that old shit. Like you're going to experience pain. You're going to be let down. You're going to be disappointed. It's a part of life, and you hindering people from that. Even regardless, you know what I'm saying, regardless of the standard. So what if your feelings get hurt? You bounce back. That's what building character is about. But now everybody's so soft. Oh yeah, you can't say this. I can't say I don't like fat people, or you can't say you don't like skinny people. You can't say you don't like vegetables. Everything you end up not liking leads to some type of bullshit definition, like some type of phobia or something. And it's just political bullshit altogether.
T, I saw you was ready to chime in. What you about to say?
Yeah, I mean that's the problem that I'm seeing, man. It's like women can say that they want a man that's tall, dark, and handsome. You know what I'm saying? But when we want, you know, a nice figure, nice shape, then we're toxic. We putting out the wrong energy into the universe, and it really ain't fair, bro. And I really wouldn't even say standards. It just people have a preference. You like what you like. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, how can you attack me because I have a preference, man? And people take it to heart. And I want to say something about the Lizzo situation. That's like everybody coming at Lizzo, you know what I'm saying, calling her trash, you know what I'm saying? And people want to defend her because she's a bigger woman, but it didn't really have nothing to do with her size. It's really how she was acting. You know what I'm saying? So I can have a preference to not want my woman to act a certain type of way. You know? Yeah.
Man, you know what's wild about that Lizzo shit? People are comparing her to Jill motherfucking Scott. I'm like, y'all gotta sit y'all ass down with that shit. That's Jill motherfucking Scott. Why y'all find her attractive, but you don't find Lizzo attractive?
I gotta disagree.
It's different between a Buick and a hoopty.
Well, I think they were most so talking about the way they were portraying themselves. You're not going to see Jill Scott out here with her ass out the courtside seats of a Lakers game. That's just not something she's going to do. But
that's just bad hygiene.
Go ahead. You had something to say.
But hold on. Let me chime in on that real quick. Let me chime in on that. For one, there's a wave of women who make a living off showing their bodies. They just so happen to be the shape that most men desire. So if she wants to make a living off showing her body, that's on her. So I don't have no problem with her showing off her body, because women that are more shapely, women who have a flatter stomach or, you know, less thighs, they show their bodies all the time, and men are always looking at that. So I can't say that she can't show her body and she makes her money. Now, you don't have to want to date her or want to take her out. That's on you. But if she wants to make money that way and market herself that way, I have no problem with that, because skinnier women do it all the time.
So
I think there's no problem with that at all. So I think women that are more shapely. But other women do it, and it's not a problem.
They nasty too.
Other women do it, and it's not a problem.
Them bros,
but no one talks about it as verbally as that. But to get back to the actual question of the standards, I think men should have standards. But what happens is, I think that men have unequal standards. If a woman is, and I want a man in a certain financial at a certain financial point, then they want a man should his rebuttal to that, it should be I should want a woman that's on that same level. Not, oh, you want me to make $100,000. I want you to have a six pack of big titties. That's not equal. That's not the same thing. Because you also want that woman to have 3 children for you, but you expect her to have a flat stomach and expect her to clean the house and expect her to be a porn star and all that. Those are unbalanced standards. So I think your standards should be comparable to if the woman wants you to look good and you want her to look good. Those are balanced standards. If you don't want to smoke, then you don't want a woman that smoke. Those are balanced standards. So your standards shouldn't be that, oh, I want you to please me better than anyone else that has ever pleased that I've ever been with, but I'm not reciprocating that. So I think the standards should be balanced. So don't ask something of a woman that you're not ready or willing to match yourself. That's what I think with standards. I think it should be equal. So I'm not going to ask you to make sure that you can cook and I can't. Like, we're going to be balanced. So I believe with the standards, you should have some sort of common theme with that. Or if I'm asking you to be a homemaker, then I should be a handyman. Like, we should have balanced standards. Like, I can't expect you to always want to pay attention to my interests, but when it comes to your interests, I never pay attention. That's not balanced. So you can't that's almost like, saying like, I need the perfect woman, but I'm not going to be the perfect man. So if you have standards, you need to meet a woman that has similar standards and you guys match standards. And I see you guys shaking your head, but I just feel that way. I don't think that a man should have unfair standards just because he's a man.
It's a recession, ain't it?
Hold on, before y'all go,
well, some women making 300,000.
got a couple comments before we step in.
Let me say one thing, bro. Please, babe.
Go ahead.
Jay Ward, quit lying, bro.
Get him out of here, T. Get him out of here, T.
I'm being real, man.
These women out here want to be taken care of, and then they asking for stuff that they can't afford themselves, bro. Come on, man.
Okay, so let's go.
Can I speak?
Okay, Swift, go ahead, bro.
Go to the comments.
T-shirt is shots.
With Gates.
Damn.
Why can't we have a
Can I
we don't want to see Lizzo twerk? Okay. Rob said,
Have you seen how big Lizzo ass is?
shut up. Rob said, man, now what you like is what you like, not what the other person likes about you. I think that's towards what Jay Ward was saying. We'll get into it in a second. Gates said again, these women's standards be unbalanced like an MF. I'm keeping it real. Walking into a relationship with an amount of expectations and a bag, that's it. So,
Will.
Go ahead.
First off, let's be real. Women's standards are definitely higher than what half of them are worth. And let's be honest. They claim that they're coming so much, and then when you get to know them, it's a lot of baggage. They have a lot of past traumas and emotional things that they have not worked out, and then they expect us to come save them and lower our standards. Now, with that being said, also, men, we will curb our standards because she has a fat ass, or big titties,
Factual.
or nice smile, and then we end up with somebody, and she end up with somebody with skewed standards on both ends. So if we're true about what we're really looking for in a person, we get past the shallow standards and get to the real thing we're looking for. You know what Jay Ward was kind of touching on in a way, on what you should look for in a person. I would just say men do have standards, and women need to be honest with themselves on the standards that they do call themselves having, because they always looking for the guy with all the money. And to be honest, let's be honest, how many black men making honestly over 100K? Let's be real. How many black men with a credit score over 700, 650?
Yeah, you want to come
at the most.
You want to come in?
You know?
Yeah.
So you got to just be real about what's in your environment and what's around you.
So let me jump to the comments real quick, and I'm gonna probably jump in too. Sandra Willer said, "I agree with Jay. I'm sure." Karen said, "What if I'm asking for something that I can't afford?"
Buy your damn self. Shit, what kind of question is
That's a good
that?
question, though, but we'll get into it.
What kind of question is that?
He said, "Jay Ward, you said a mouthful." Michael Braxton, we are looking for the shallow standards too, though. Nice personality is cool, but it's better with a fat ass. So one thing that Jay Ward said that it really struck with me, and I'm gonna try to jump in and jump right back out, is if a woman wants somebody that may want someone that can buy a house, and man that can keep up the house. So if the man can buy everything in the house, then what's the difference? But anybody else got anything to say before we move on to the next topic? Because I want to close this one out before it gets too real.
Everybody just got to be real about these goddamn standards. You need to know your worth and don't overvalue yourself and don't undervalue yourself either. But just know your worth and know what you're looking for. Just base period.
Jay Ward, go ahead.
Always shoot your shot. You know, don't be scared to shoot your shot, even if you get turned down. That's life. Also, if you shoot your shot and you get what you want, be prepared for everything that comes with it.
Hey,
One thing I
man.
will say, Negroes want, they want the top of the line, but when it comes their way, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do with it. So you can't be shooting for that when you can't handle it.
It's okay to have standards. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody should have standards. And that's the way a lot of people really mess up, especially women that's like in the 30s and upward, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're younger, you can, be lenient and grow with somebody. But a lot of times the problem comes when you already established and you don't get someone that is established, you know what I'm saying? And that's where the problem come at later on in your career.
Close us out, Jay Ward. Then we're gonna bring in Rob for his comment. Moving forward.
I mean, I agree with what you guys saying, especially Crowley, and I think that you should have a set of standards, but I just think that it's unfair to have standards that can't be matched, meaning that you have some unfair expectation that you're not going to meet. And think about this, and I'll leave you with this before we move on. How many times do you see a man in a relationship after he gets married or settles down in a relationship, he gains weight and the woman doesn't? And you like, that's such and such. So a lot of times these guys get into relationships and they let themselves go, but
True.
they still expect for their woman to look, presentable and look good and things like that. So I think that's an unfair standard.
They money be growing too. That's why
Not
women stay.
But just because
Why
your
women
money
stay?
going don't mean you let yourself go.
Hey
I'm
man,
talking shit.
we get chubby together, man. We getting chubby together, bro.
Get on the Nike. Yeah.
Good point.
Now we working out together. How about that?
We digging over.
That chubby shit.
We got this Ryan
You
group.
working out.
And I still don't know what T. Coleman, but Rob, bring us in. Give us a quick statement on the last topic. We're gonna move forward.
Quick statement off the last topic. Men should have standards, but it shouldn't stop at standards. Men should have high standards. I would say that because we shoot ourselves low and we end up getting low, and then we end up complaining about we got low. Period, point blank.
Because you didn't pull out.
So moving on to the next topic, and it's kind of keeping in with the same topic about men having standards. In 2020, we really don't see that many marriages happening. We do see a few. But with men, especially with my brother here tonight, what do you consider as far as what you look for in a woman? And some of y'all are already there. But marriage material, what do you look for in that partner? You say, this is what I see as the woman that I can spend the rest of my life with. This is who I want to spend the rest of my life with. What do you consider marriage material? What made you make that decision with the partner that you're with now? Like, what do you say, hey, this might work out. This could be the person that I spend the rest of my life with. What do you consider marriage material?
I think you kind of like use the right word, like a partner. You know what I'm saying? Because when they're a partner to you, when they're actually your partner, you know what I'm saying? They're an asset and not a liability. Y'all on equal planes in a certain type of fashion that y'all come to an agreement on. I think that like your partner should make you better as well as you make them better. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, it needs to be like an equal exchange. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I'm not with the stereotypical this is what a husband and wife should be type person. I'm more so of like shit. Can I stand being in quarantine with you and not get on your ass? You know what I'm saying? How long can I be around you and not be bothered?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? What are you bringing to the table? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like a lot of men don't challenge the women that they fooling with. They don't challenge them on it. They'll just be like, oh yeah, I got this job, but that's all you got. And that's all that you bring to the table, that you work at this job. This job can end tomorrow, and you don't know how to do shit else. Then you take away your salary, right? Let's say for instance, you take salaries out the equation, right? What can your woman do? What can you do? How does that level out? You know what I'm saying? If y'all here, this is the perfect balance. But if it's any type of inequality, I don't think it works out too well unless well, it might be like a case by case basis type thing. But I don't think there's no such thing as a perfect situation. You gotta do what's best for you and what you like.
Okay.
That's my educated statement for the evening.
Oh, shut your
The
ass.
only one.
Yeah, back to the foolishness.
Yeah, only one.
Back to the foolishness.
Come on, talk to
I
me,
let the
Rob.
mayor
Oh, go ahead,
before I
Crow.
chime in. No, I let the mayor bro speak before I chime in.
Go ahead, Crow. What?
I'm not married.
Hi, Crow. Rob. So, mass material. What do you consider mass material? Make sure you don't get beat on tonight. Make sure you get off. I don't want you to get put out.
All right,
You'll
so
be outside like I would.
You in the house for the first time, man.
Right?
congratulations,
No,
bro.
It's the third. I'm on a Wednesday.
All right, so marriage material is gonna vary based on the brother or the sister, based on what their situation is. For me, my situation is a tad bit different. I'm a military bro. I move a lot. I'm gone a lot, and stuff still has to be taken care of at home. The person that I'm with doesn't necessarily have to, have a Fortune 500 job because of my job, but they do have to have some type of ambition to want to do something other than just sit at home, which is why I'm with the woman that I'm with currently. She has ambition. She pushes me to be better health-wise. And then when I'm gone, say to Afghanistan for a year or gone to training, she can hold down the fort and I don't have to worry about something happening to her or the kids or the house when I'm gone a lot. And so it all depends on your situation. And plus, it has to be somebody you can be yourself around and have fun with outside of the sex, the ass, the smiles, all the other stuff. Somebody that you can actually sit down and you can be in a room with and y'all don't have to say anything and you can be cool with that. Because some people can't even be in the same room with other people that they're supposed to be in a relationship with, but they chose to be with this person for the rest of their life. Right. So the marriage material thing is going to vary based on the person who's looking. But for me, that was what I was looking for. Another thing was Felicia, my wife, when we were dating, doing our thing, she drove from Jackson to Bolton to bring me some home cooked food. Now, for most people, that don't seem like a big thing. For me, I'm a country boy. That's a big thing because most women the women today, they don't want to give you a glass of water. I mean, it's crazy. Like, to me, that was a lot. I didn't have to make the first move. She was meeting me halfway to show me that she liked me too. And so I think that shows a lot as far as what you're looking for and the woman that you're looking for. You have to be extremely honest and you have to dig deep to see the true person, to see exactly what their values and stuff are, and then go from there.
I think one of the most important things you said is be in the house together. Y'all ain't looking at each other, want to kill each other. Because 5-10 years, that divorce rates ain't closer and closer because people start spending so much time together. They tired of seeing each other in the house all the time. I'm gonna go to the comments real quick before I go to the next person. Devin said, "Someone that can add value to my life and the relationship." Mook Verde said, "If it ain't no value, I don't want it." Pops Jonathan Harris said, "Most women don't want to be challenged, but controlled." Ooh.
gonna bring him in.
Right? Michael Gates, in simple terms, I just look for someone equally yoked, ambitious, smart, funny, attractive, unwavering support, and self. Okay, Braxton, gainfully employed with a motivated career, fun, adventurous, curious, and evolving, skilled and well-rounded for her and me. Okay. I see Jonathan left a real long comment, but
Just skip over.
we're gonna go to the next person before I get to it. So, T
I
Yeah.
got you.
or Crow, you want to go ahead, Crow?
Yeah, go Crow.
What do you look for?
Okay.
What's your marriage?
Marriage material for me, to be honest, because I saw it in my family, is through the thick and thin. Somebody who's going to be an ally to you, like he said, that asset. You know what I'm saying? Who you can count on in the peace times and in war times. And that's either war with each other or war against the world, because nobody should come between you guys after you make that bond, you know. So that goes into loyalty, trust. And you know, sometimes some of that is broken within a marriage, but that's why that's that ally. You should be able to come to that table, sit down, be able to have a healthy conversation about what went wrong, and continue to move on. And see, that's another thing. A lot of people skip over communicating properly in that dating phase, in that courting phase, and push on through. And so that marriage material, a lot of people lack that true communication. They look for everything else, but they're not having those healthy communications. So for me now, I'm truly looking for somebody. When I do send you those good morning, do you respond back to me? When I ask you how you are doing, do you respond back to me? The simple things. Yeah, I know people be talking about some, well, they can do this for me, do that. No, I want the simple things. Because if you can do the simple things, and I can provide the simple things for you by bringing you simple peace, simple joy, things like that, we can damn for sure conquer the big things, because we're moving as one, we're moving as a unit, and we're able to operate through war, and we can push through peace with no problem. So I just want somebody, you know what I'm saying, like I said, through thick and thin. Forget all the rest of the sugar, cakes, and flowers. Get me through thick and thin, and I'm good to go. With who a cutie too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that much too. She got to be a cutie.
So all you want is a good morning test and Waffle House.
Right.
I'm a mute.
Hey, what can I say? I'm a round the way kid. I'm simple. I'm simple, baby. I'm simple. That's it. I just need you to show me you loyal and loving me deep down. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grind hard. You know, I mess up too. I ain't perfect. You know, just through the thick and thin. That's all.
I feel you, bro.
Fight for you just as well as you fight for me.
That's real though, bro.
Yeah.
Comment saying the simple things. Karen said you'd be surprised how many people cannot, or how many men or people in general cannot do the simple things. I see that he typed out, Harris typed out his comment of what he meant. He said it goes by situation. A lot of women have in their mind what they want you to do, but if men put the same out there as you, this I'm trying to change. It's almost like you can check me, but you can't be checked. Like I said, not all, just some. I do believe there are good women and good men out here, but they can't be molded by society, but by morals and real ambition. Okay.
That's real.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
What you
Shout out
got?
to John. Shout out to
Yeah,
John for the
man.
comment.
You know, looks gonna fade. Let's be honest though, we do like looks, you know what I'm saying? But again, it's somebody out there for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You have something that attracts somebody to you. You know what I'm saying? So I think for marriage material, another big important thing for me is just attitude, you know what I'm saying, and outlook. You know, is the glass half full, is the glass half empty? You know, I think that's real big, because you got to have somebody that always try to find the best in the situation and try to bring out the best in you, and the loyalty. And another thing I don't think y'all really said is respect. You know what I'm saying? Respect is real big for me, at least, you know what I'm saying, how she carries herself. And, you know, and does she push me to want to be better? You know what I'm saying? Because we men and we good guys, you know, and we gonna hold it down and we gonna hold the fort down, but we do need that big cheerleader. And I think that was one big thing about my mom. Like, she was my biggest cheerleader, and you kind of need that in your woman, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they don't have, you know, our mothers anymore. You know, so you need that big cheerleader that's gonna tell you, "Hey, baby, go do that." Or if I'm in the yard and I'm cutting the grass, and you like, "Hey, you know what? I do see that grass getting greener, man." You know?
Yeah, Crowley stood up. Crowley about to catch
Like the simple stuff, man. Because you know it's millions of women out there, but you need that person that you know you always thinking about, or you can't be without, or you know if they gone for a day or two, you like, damn, you know what? She can bring her ass home. So, that's how I'm rocking, man.
I got you. Them some good points made. I don't think I said what I wanted in my marriage material, but I don't really chime in.
It's one thing that everybody overlooks.
What's that, Corey?
Okay, of course, like T said, like looks fade, but you still want to be with somebody you're attracted to. Like that's the foundation. Respect. T also hit on respect. That's very important. You don't want to. You can't marry a disrespectful woman because eventually the relationship is going to self-destruct. But one more important thing is a woman that's financially responsible. I think that a lot of the divorce rates occur because of inadequate finances. So it's like, you know, you need somebody to know, oh, we can't go shopping this month. We gotta stack some bread to take care of this. We gotta pay our house. We gotta save some money for this, for that. We can't put everything on a credit card. I think that's very important. Like,
first of all,
that's like top 5. That's top 5, arguably top 3. So, arguably top 3. Like that's very important for any marriage, any relationship. If you have one person that saves and one person that spends, you don't have enough money to cover those expenditures, then look, you're gonna be in the hole a lot. And when you can't cover your bills, they bring on financial stress. And that's going to bring on stress, and you're going to take that out on each other. So I think that's very important.
You better talk about that Jackson State education and business. I see it coming.
Oh yeah, COB.
I see it coming.
Hold on, one quick comment. A wise man once said, "You ain't a bad bitch if you got bad credit."
Who is that wise man?
Coach Webby. Real, bro. But that's a real shit. No, he said that back in like 2005.
But the close
it's still relevant to this day.
Quinn said, "Love don't pay the bills." Michael Gates said, "Being a cheerleader is so undervalued." Like, yeah, baby, you ain't calling much, but I see it growing. I got you. Kenya Nicole said, "Financially responsive." Yes. Corey said, "Being financially responsive is top 3." So to close it out, what do y'all see as y'all top 3 or top 5 as far as those qualities in somebody you can spend the rest of your life with? That's marriage material.
Attractive to me, respect, financially responsible, trust, and ambition. I think that's pretty much top 5 for me.
Okay.
He actually top 3, but
yeah.
Well, I had to put top 5.
Top 3 for me, I'm gonna say financial understanding. I want to say,
okay, Nick.
I'm gonna say emotional understanding because I also think, like, you know what I'm saying, I might be crazy as hell.
I'm right about it.
And then number and the 3 is like they gotta just be an asset because, you know what I'm saying, they gotta match what I bring to the table in a sense, or better. You know what I'm saying? I think that's top 3.
I mean, y'all hit it on the head. I agree with all y'all. You know, if she can't rap Pimp C verse on International Players Anthem,
she ain't the one for you.
She ain't the one.
Not gonna happen, bro. Real talk, man.
We gonna move. I ain't gonna let everybody.
Man,
Bro, you want to say yours?
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm good.
I was
Sure.
going to move on because the next topic we're talking about what is marriage material. But to wrap this all up, it's 2020. You see the women put on social media, they want to go on these vacations. You know, people single. You don't see as many marriages popping off nowadays. You know, men doing their thing. They staying single for so long that when they get 30 and 40 years old, when they start to date these 20-year-olds, sometimes you see it all the time. So I just want to ask y'all, do y'all really see marriage as a goal for men nowadays? Like, do men really see marriage as the goal? Are we really trying to find that person to spend the rest of our life with, so on and so forth? Is that really happening right now? Jay, we're gonna bring you in on this topic too when finish up. So, what do y'all think? Do men really see marriage as the goal?
Well, sure, you got married men on here, so obviously, you know, that was there.
Well, we alpha beta men, so it's different.
No, I'm just playing.
But go ahead, Crow.
About to put Swift off this motherfucker.
Me.
This nigga's tripping. I'll start.
For me,
go ahead,
I got you. For me, I've never saw marriage as a goal, but I've visualized myself as being, you know what I'm saying, great material as far as doing what I need to do, but not a goal. If I find you know what I'm saying, I've been engaged before, I bought a ring before, you know what I'm saying? So it is not so much the goal, but when you find that right one, or you know, working towards finding that right one, you know, that kind of becomes a goal, because you saying, okay, I met this young lady, this woman, I've seen these things in her that I'm looking for, and now that is part of, you know what I'm saying, something on your, I guess, your list, or your goal, I guess now a goal to reach, but it's not nothing that I was born with saying, oh, I have to get married by the time I turn 20 or 30, such and such. It just, when you kind of to that young lady, you know what I'm saying, that feels that right way, then it turns into a goal to make her your wife, or either, you know what I'm saying, not so much to reach that marriage, but to make her your wife. I think you have it turned wrong, because a lot of people reach for that marriage to get married versus looking for, you know what I'm saying, a wife.
Okay. And Crow, you're going in and out too. You go ahead.
I got COVID-19. As far as like the end goal, I can put it to you like this. Just being like more so career focused. Originally, no, I didn't. It wasn't like a goal of mine. But I mean, like, you know, what person, male or female, doesn't want, like, you know, to have a family of their own? So I think that's kind of like it's in everybody's subconscious. I will say that. But as far as like me working towards it, man, I was trying to get this bread. Like, I don't want to stand there. I want to do the things that were on my checkoff list. Like, and at the time, like, you know what I'm saying, being under 30, like, marriage wasn't it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm being realistic with myself as far as like the goals that I want to set, the financial standpoint that I want to be at, and the other things that I personally want to accomplish. It wasn't on my checklist. But, you know, things happen. You meet people, you vibe with people, you make connections, you know what I'm saying? And they have a lifelong effect on you. And that changes your perception on things. So now it's just like, all right, cool. This can happen. We can do this.
So if I'm hearing you right, you saying that you wanted to get that good job, finish your degree, move and become financially stable, all of this. And if marriage happened along the way, you weren't opposed to it, but it just wasn't something that you were actively trying to pursue.
Correct, sir.
I can feel it.
Right. I kind of agree with E on that one, man. Most men don't really, I don't say we think about it as a goal. Like, for the most part, we trying to get this bread, we trying to get this money, we trying to get established, because
we're trying to line ourselves men.
Yeah, because, you know, you are the head of the household. See, women don't understand that. Men, that's a big responsibility for a man. You know what I'm saying? And we're not always ready for that responsibility. So I think it's a goal. I do think it's a goal, but I do think that for the most part we trying to get that bread first. You know what I'm saying? And then women, you know, they watch the cartoons growing up. Prince Charming gonna come save when they gonna have this big wedding. They can tell you the colors, the bridesmaids, and all that. Man, we just like, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
We spend all that money to get in debt.
And I see the
We don't-
comments.
We don't think about who gonna be in a damn wedding until you know we meet
Nope.
that. We'll be like, dang, who gonna do what? You know what I'm saying?
This
Quick,
nigga
quick.
Crowley on that droid.
quick sentence though.
Go ahead.
I think men should focus on that being a goal though, because I can honestly say that the bros that I know that are married are very successful. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones that marry young, they are very successful, and you know, it's a plus. So
But that depends on the partner too. But like I was saying before all these comments came in, we're talking in general men, alpha beta men. You see the thread on Facebook that I put together. We do get married often, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Also, make homecoming great again. I don't know if we're gonna have one this fall, but just want to throw it in there. Rob, talk to me. What's going on, brother? Talk to me.
So, just echoing what the bro said. When I got married early, I got married right out of college. Was not a good idea at all. I was just starting my career. The money wasn't looking right. I was still trying to get myself established in my career, and it causes a lot of uncertainties in yourself that end up portraying themselves in your marriage. But for me, marriage has been a goal for me because eventually, just for me, the running around with different people gets very old, especially if you're career focused. That's just for me. It gets tiring. It's hard for you to trust people. It's hard for you because you have you have connections with multiple people. It's just hard if you're trying to be a career person. That's just for me. I did it for a while and I had to stop it because I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. I mean, just looking at the stuff that you see on social media, man, these women, I pray for the single bros out there because I'm telling you, man, the stuff that some of these guys have to deal with, man, oh my goodness gracious. I'm telling you, it's easier, not the marriage, the wedding, but the union of one person with another person. It's easier to focus on that one person as well as your career than trying to figure out 50 different birthdays and trying to remember all these special events. It's hard, man. It was hard for me. I couldn't keep up. I just got tired and I just didn't care anymore. But yeah, marriage is a goal. I believe marriage should be a goal. When me and Felicia were living together and in a relationship, we weren't married, I started feeling guilty because we were staying together and I hadn't made her an honest woman. It's just because of how I was raised. And so I believe marriage should be a goal if you find that one woman that you feel like is going to help you and you're going to help her.
Exactly. Let me slide to these comments real quick. I don't know what Jay Ward was. I was about to slide them in. Devin Brown said, I think everyone has a longing to eventually share their life, their experiences and troubles, etc. with someone. Of course, he had to say that because he'll get put out too. Jonathan Harris, definitely, I wanted marriage just on my timing. I think that's pretty much what everybody is saying on this show. We want to get married on our own time when we feel that we're ready for it. LaQuinn said Crowley got Teddy Riley Wi-Fi.
I'm about to fix that Wi-Fi.
Michael Braxton, I got married at the time because I thought it was one of the things I should do as an adult. It didn't. That's your fault. It didn't last long because she and I did not marry for the right reasons. Rob, you got any final points for I
No, I'll just tell the brothers, man, when you choose right, because it has lasting effects. I'll just say that.
Gotcha. Appreciate you, brother. Crow had to get his Wi-Fi right.
Oh yeah, I'm back now, baby.
You may see marriage as a goal.
Music.
Are you, J-Ward, can you hear me?
I'm in this thing now. I'm good to go.
Jay Ward, what is you doing, bro?
Hold on.
Y'all hear me, man? Am I good?
Get off that droid.
Jay, what you must,
Yeah. Huh?
you must be in the country.
Y'all need drawers, bro.
Nah, man, my internet's just tripping tonight. I ain't in my house.
See,
Coronavirus.
listen,
Yeah.
listen.
So two more comments before we go to the next topic.
That Future album dropped.
Right?
That's why Jay Ward Wi-Fi
Shit is
messed up. You don't need all this positivity, Jay Ward, and this feminine, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, let me say this.
Too much wine.
And
Tita had too
and
much wine.
Right.
I'm gonna actually be on the opposite side of this. I'm gonna just say this, man. Marriage is not for everybody. And you know, men or women, there's some people that just will be better off without getting married, without having children. And I think that when it comes to, you know, is marriage a goal, men are typically not raised to value marriage as much as girls are when they're being raised. You don't really see a lot of little boys playing husband the way little girls play. Ooh, let's play house. I want to be the wife. You know, some women have their weddings planned out since they were little girls. So, you know, a lot of times that's not necessarily a goal for men, but I think it should be. But, you know, you want to just make sure that you're with someone who you trust, and make sure you're with someone who, you know, you have intimacy with. And I know people, and this is going to not sound like me here, but, you know, a lot of times when you don't have intimacy with someone, you know, that relationship is doomed. And it might seem shallow. And I know the PC thing to say is that, oh, you know, looks fade and intimacy never fades, because intimacy is about more than sex. And then I once heard a quote that said the worst thing that you can ever do to a relationship is involve the courts. And to a lot of people, marriage is just a legal document. So, you know, some people are just better off before they involve the courts and legal systems, and they were happier. And then the moment that they involved all the legal things, then their relationship starts to fail. So I just think, you know, we should be aware of that. And, you know, if you don't get married, that's okay. I think that, you know, I see a lot of women congratulated a lot when they get engaged, but not the same amount of women are, you know, celebrated once they start a business. I think, you know, your ability to accomplish something is worth more than somebody deciding to spend the rest of their life with you, because that's a foregone conclusion that someone is going to want to spend the rest of their lives with you. So it should be celebrated, but it isn't like, ooh, you know, hey, that person has grinded and made something of themselves. I think that's more important.
Gotcha. And I'm gonna make two comments on that. You ain't lying, because I did see a few women when I was in college. They had these Pinterest boards of their entire wedding colors and dresses already planned out. They were still single. I was like, what the hell? Two comments before we move on. Roosevelt Hawkins said, most definitely one day I want to build a legacy. I saw the legacy my parents built together, and I saw how my mama held down my pops through the process. Okay. Crystal Cotton said, how do you guys feel about women making more money than the man? Where are they going? They trash Wi-Fi. Crystal Cotton said, how do you guys feel about women making more money than the man in the household?
Oh, that's
That was
fine with
topic
me.
one, right? That's topic
Right, that's
one.
fine with me.
One, right?
You know, we a team. I'm gonna big up her. She get that promotion, go for it. You know what I'm saying? That's
that money
why.
home.
Why would I feel bad that's foolish?
The
Right, you
real
make more money than me. Put these J's on my feet.
the real question for
Go ahead.
Crystal. The real question for Crystal, and I want her to answer in the comments, is if she makes more money than that man, how will she talk to him and treat him? Because that's the problem. The problem not you making more money. The problem is you trying to belittle that dude because you make more money. Answer that down there in the comments.
Go ahead. You had something to say real quick.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, you good? All right, moving on to the hold on. Say what now? This now, T, stay where you at. This has been a topic on social media for a few days. Boosie, and he said it in a song years ago, probably a decade ago, but he said it recently on one of his lives. Boosie said, hell yeah, he got a woman, he got a woman, a grown woman, to perform oral sex on his son and his nephew or nephews. I can't remember which one, and like 12 or 13 years old. I'm gonna say this again. Lil Boosie said he got a grown woman to perform oral sex on his nephew and his son. They 12, 13 years old. They were grown women. We gotta address this, especially with what's going on now in the black community. We really
Add the other part of that too. Don't just leave one side of it out.
Right.
Add the other part too before we start talking about it.
Okay.
I want to talk about both of them. They both correlate.
I was gonna talk about one first, then go to the other, but I'll bring up the other one too. So Boosie has an issue with Dwayne Wade putting his child out on the forefront, his daughter now, out on the forefront, and saying that Dwayne Wade's child does not have the right, is not old enough to make the type of decision to say he want to go from a boy to a girl. She wants to go from a boy to a girl. And Boosie said that's wrong, so on and so forth. So we have two parents on two sides of the spectrum. One that is getting his, preparing his child, 12, 13-year-old, to be sexually involved with women by paying a woman to perform oral sex with him. And we have another man who is supporting his child and saying that I want to go from a young man or a young boy to a young girl.
That's the problem right there.
So
I'm gonna leave it there. Slide in first.
It's the picture in the
Let's go.
We're gonna talk about
10 years
Boosie
ago.
first.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
got you right. We're gonna talk about Boosie first. For one, that shit is rape. I don't care. He rapped about it and Daddy Love. He said he was gonna do it, but that shit is still rape. Simply because at 13 years old, a lot of people started having sex at 13, 14. Fine, that's cool. But you didn't know any better at 13. And you having a parent that's pretty much providing that for you. It's like you're not ready for what comes with sex. Like you don't have nothing to look forward to. You're not ready to process those emotions that comes with sex. Sex brings a lot of emotions that I don't think people are ready to handle. And it's also you risk having getting someone pregnant or having a kid. It's like you're not ready, old enough to process the consequences or the repercussions that come along with sex. Boosie out of pocket with that, but at the same time, that's celebrated in our race. It's been celebrated for a long time, and it passed from generation to generation. People think that shit cool. That shit is rape. I don't care how you point it out. You should want to put your child in that situation. We always talk about predatory men dating younger women, but we never talk about predatory women dating younger men and having sexual relations with younger men. We don't talk about that in our community, and it's like it gets swept under the rug. So people like, okay, that shit cool, blah blah blah, but that shit need to stop. As far as Dwayne Wade's son is concerned, that kid.
Hold on, Corey. Because I see he making these faces and he want to chime in. We're gonna get to Dwayne Wade's daughter in just a second. Go ahead,
I'm just saying,
Dwayne Wade's son.
bro. Don't get me wrong. Do I think it's rape? Yes. Right. But keep that same energy because them same women was having sex with the neighborhood dope boy that was 25 and up when they was 16, 15,
That's right.
17, everything. And guess what happened? Nobody said a motherfucking word. Why? They were getting broke off. Now, do I believe? I don't think Boosie should have did it, but like it to me, it's just it's fake outrage, bro. The same people that's trying to come out to Boosie, the same people that still jam R. Kelly. R. Kelly is on video having sex with young women. They still play his music, still jamming until like he just finally went to court for it. But at the same time, now Boosie said it. At 11, I'm gonna go get my son a Ferrari. At 7, I'm gonna get him head at his birthday party. Everybody just laughed it off. This is just him talking. There's no proof yet, right? There's no proof, but everybody just believe because Boosie's a credible dude, right? But again, there is video evidence, tapes, legal documents about R. Kelly. Everybody still support him. Everybody still like trying to bump his music and shit. But guess what happens? Soon as it seems like you're ready to come on, guess what? Clothes come on. So keep that same energy when you talking about like that same like tracks. Keep the same energy, bro. That's all I'm saying. Cause the same thing. Nobody got outraged about them girls that was fucking with the neighborhood dope boy.
It's not outrage. It's like that he want to raise a kid like that. That's cool. But that shit is rape.
It is.
I don't care.
with you. If somebody's underage and being taken advantage of, I completely agree. That's 100% rape. But like my thing is like nowadays it's just because of social media, bro. If
Listen,
Boosie
man.
wouldn't have said that, nobody wouldn't have gave a fuck. Boosie said that shit 10 years ago. Didn't nobody say shit. And Twitter
Listen,
was
man.
out.
It's like
Facebook
Lil
was out.
Wayne.
Nobody said
Lil Wayne
shit.
had that same shit back in the day did to him. That shit rape. That's why his ass
Rape.
walking
Wayne
around
got
like he
raped by a
doing
man.
now.
Wayne got raped by a man.
Listen. Check E
Totally
out.
different.
Check E out. Sub E out. Mute E.
Okay, so
But any
Crow,
that shit.
who got some? Go ahead, T. I see you.
All right, man. Do I think Tootie? Y'all don't even know Boosie's son name. Tootie Raw.
We know who his son is.
Do I think Tootie is out here smashing? Yeah, I think Tootie out here smashing. Do I have a problem with it? No, I don't have a problem with it because then I'd be a hypocrite because I probably was doing the same thing around about that same time.
Exactly.
But where E fucking up at is some things I can't do in front of my parents, dog. You know what I'm saying? Boosie, like, okay, some parents know their kids smoke weed, and the parent might smoke weed too, but they're not gonna smoke weed together just because it's a respect level and it's the parent. Boosie is tripping, bro. Like Corey said, it's statutory rape, bro. It's rape, it's rape. It don't matter, dog. Wrong is wrong, man. Wrong is wrong, bro. Even if Tootie is doing that already, bro, it's still wrong because Boosie should not be in the mix of that at all, man.
Yeah, so I guess
I know, my bad.
Okay.
I don't mean to
hold
put
on, Crow, before you go.
Keep the same
So
energy.
the biggest issue really is I think that in the black community we do see these young men having sex with older women, but that's a choice between them two, and that choice wasn't taken away by the parent. Like Boosie paid for this person to have sex with his son. And I think that's the biggest part that we really missing out on. Boosie took that
He
choice.
paid for it.
Yeah, go ahead, Crow.
Damn, that nigga out of pocket. Paying for pussy. Paying for
Okay.
it.
Go ahead, Crow.
All right. First off, like Corey said, like Corey said, definitely statutory rape. What some parents fail to realize, and I just won't single Boosie out on this because, like I think T mentioned, and maybe Corey mentioned, this is kind of a culture within the community, within the environment, amongst men, amongst daddy, amongst uncles. I would use the term setting their sons out and helping them become a man by losing their virginity, or popping that cherry per se. And that right there causes trauma. For one, emotionally, because that young teenager or that young child, adolescent, doesn't know, like Corey said, doesn't know exactly what's happening within that physical act. It's tearing them up, it's messing with them mentally. Physically, their body may not even be ready for what's going on or what's happening to them. And that trauma leads to them seeking
Okay, so Crow Wi-Fi messing up again. E, I'm gonna bring you out and bring Rob in so we can get in on this topic.
or
Let me get
either,
in on it too, Spuff.
I am.
or either also setting them up for early unplanned pregnancies or STDs. So like I said, it's trauma, whether mentally, whether emotionally, because at that moment in time, the frontal lobe is not developed. So there is no understanding, no true cognitive thought of what's going on. So I would just say, yeah, Boosie was definitely wrong. Statutory rape on that end, especially if they were grown women, statutory rape on their end. And once we touch on the Dwayne Wade subject, I'd definitely chime in on that.
Let's get to Dwayne Wade, bro.
Go ahead, Jay Ward.
All
So
right,
what
so I had a
two?
lot of points on this, but I can't look at them on my phone because of my internet. But let me just go off the cuff on this. First, let me say this: do we even know if Boosie's son and nephew wanted this? Did they specifically ask for this, or was this forced upon them? Is this if Boosie's response is to, oh, I'm gonna hire a prostitute to get my children head so they don't turn out gay? It doesn't matter what you do. If that's in that person, that's gonna be in that person. That's a decision that they have to make on their own. No matter how much sex you expose them to, if that decision has already been made, then that decision is there. And like, there's nothing that you can do about that. And like some of the brothers have said, there's a stigma in our particular culture where you are celebrated for the amounts of women that you slept with and how old they were and how young you were when you slept with them. And we have to do something about that. As a person, I mean, I was 16, I had a 26-year-old woman. And when I look back on it now, there was nothing that I can do for a 26-year-old woman, not even, other than sex. I mean, if I was even good at that at 16. So, there was something going on. And I used to go over there and be with her, and my friend would babysit her kids and everything while we, we're in the back doing whatever we do. So a lot of times, that's common in our culture. I remember Chris Brown said something about that. He lost his virginity at a young age. So that's something that we have to address. But if that's something that Boosie's son and his nephew wanted, then they should have found a like-minded peer to express that with, someone their own age, because it's not uncommon at 12 or 13 to start, being interested in that. But they should have found someone their own age to act that out with. Plus, like Crow is saying, your mind cannot understand those type of activities at that age. So you're prone to make a lot of mistakes and missteps when you're doing this something that young, because you're too young to grasp what's going on. And then when you have someone, I think 3 of us at least on this podcast are mandatory reporters. Like, I'm a mandatory reporter, so if that's something that's going on, I have to say that. I have to report that to someone that's going on, because that is illegal. So you bringing illegal activities in, and I have to report that. If that was one of my students, like, I would have to bring that up, because hey, this is widely illegal. So I think he's totally out of pocket. I don't know if he said it in jest or not. I haven't looked into it enough, but either way, it's a tragedy to expose those kids to something that young. Think about this. And this is my last point. I'm gonna get off of it because I know Rob wants to chime in. When there's a boy who sleeps with a teacher, if the teacher is attractive, I've seen a lot of men say, "Oh man, well, look at my boy, shoot, I wish that would have been me. I wish that would have been me." But if the woman wasn't attractive, then they want to press all type of charges. If it's wrong either way. It's not based on what the woman looks like and all of that. It's wrong either way. And then when you have a lot of women trashing the woman who did it, a lot of those same women, if Boosie paid them to do something, they would do it too. And that's just all I'm gonna say on that. I'm gonna get off of it. I have a lot more to say, but I'll address it in the comments.
Rob, before I go to you, I'm gonna go to the comments, and I want you to close out this topic and transition us to the D-Wade topic. Rob, well, that's you in the comments. Tasha Scruggs, he took the choice from his kids by bringing them a grown woman. Grown woman and Boosie dead wrong. Absolutely. And shout out to SG Rowe. Sheila Annette Liddell said, but they parent ain't take them to what? I'm gonna move on from that one. Jonathan Harris said, all that junk is diversion, same principles. We just try to put that shit on the scale. Lorenzo Breland is wrong, but didn't the baby do the same thing for Lil Wayne back in the day? I think he did. I think they did talk about it in the
zone.
Yeah. Let me keep going. LaQuinn, would you have a problem with it if your daughter was his age and smashing? Absolutely.
Yes, we're gonna get to that next.
Absolutely. And Jay Ward said something about smashing a older chick when he was young. I do remember me doing the same thing, and I hope my mother not on this Facebook feed because she probably gonna try to kill the woman. But I do remember like being 15, 16 years old and having sex with an older woman on my waterbed while my mother was gone. And if my
was having a dream, boy. Stop.
Flashbacks.
But if my mother would have known that, she probably would have went to no problem. She would have went to jail. There's something totally different from what Boosie did. He actually welcomed it. Rob, close us out and move us into D-Wade.
All right, so I got 5 points because this is a topic that's pretty pretty close to the vest for me. So the first point is most men don't want to admit they've been victims because it shows weakness. It's something that we don't like to show. If you say that an older woman took advantage of you, you look weak. Most people don't see young boys as sexual assault victims unless it's by the hands of another man. Another issue with our society as a whole. It's hard for many people to see a woman as predatory, even with the massive amounts of information available that speak to it, because you can't have male victims without a female perp, and many people leave that part out. So us focusing around Boosie is cool, but every time we have to focus on something like sexual assault, rape, we always have to focus it around a man when the actual perp is a woman, and no one ever brings that part up. Many young black boys and girls are seen and treated as adults at a very young age, but girls are protected while boys aren't. So most people are real overprotective of their, young girls or princesses, while the boys kind of roaming, and anything can happen to them. And the last point is many adult black men have been victims and don't even realize it, and to do so would be mentally and emotionally shocking. So a lot of men, including myself, have been a victim of this. And it wasn't until I was in college getting ready to graduate where I realized that it was wrong. It jacked me up. And it's something that I had to go to therapy for, just to figure out why I was having specific issues in my life based on something that happened to me when I was younger that I didn't realize. So when people say, men are stronger, boys are stronger, regardless of what's going on, no adult woman should be taking advantage of a little boy. And so I always stress this, and hopefully this is hopefully something that's going to come out from my experience and my presence on social media, is you should protect your young boys and your sons as much as you protect your girls, period.
Amen. I can say this much, Rob. I think if you gave a survey about us, all six of us, maybe one of us may not raise our hands of who was sexually assaulted as a young male by a woman.
An older woman.
An older woman, yes. That's why I said a woman, not a girl, a woman. I made sure. That's why I chose that word, woman.
Well, pretty much, I would say all six of us probably have been, and we didn't know it at the time because in our community, that's celebrated.
Yeah, celebrated, because I wasn't running from around the house like, hey, bro, guess what happened to me? You know what I'm saying? That was the celebration versus once you look back at it like, damn, a grown-ass woman stuck her tongue down my throat.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Telling me I was cute, there was her reason for doing it.
Yeah, it was wrong as hell. So, Rob, transition us to the, or who want to transition? I'm gonna ask it. What Jay Ward? Wi-Fi?
Shit, you got it, Rob, but you want me to take it?
Go ahead.
Hey, you take it, man. You had started, man. You got cut off, so I'll let you take it first.
Let me go to the comments on this last topic. On this topic, Quinn, some men salute the boys for doing it, but try to ban the girls. It should be the same across the board. Absolutely. Trina B, he's teaching them that sex has no value and women at the same time have no value. That's a good point. Michael Braxton, D Wade is dead wrong too. A child who hasn't had puberty making life-altering decisions? No, sir. We're about to get into that in just a sec. Why?
Sub out, T. You can sub out, T. I know you don't want it.
This conversation was needed. I'm sorry to all the men in this video. That shouldn't have happened to you. At the time, it didn't seem like a bad thing, but now that we are older, yes, ma'am, you are absolutely right. We shouldn't have been assaulted by older women at that age. It wasn't right. So CJB, talk to me. Do you think it's right for Dwayne Wade to support his child through this process? T, you gotta. I don't want to put your head down all you want to. Go ahead, CJB.
Listen. If your child is gay and you still want to support your child and be there for your child, I commend that. There's nothing wrong with that. But when we talking about a sex change, I think that it is wrong to go on with that for a 12-year-old child. It's like a child should remain in a child's place, period. I feel like the man is pimping out his son to get recognition in the media because that's what's hot right now. I feel like it's not too many people, like picture a daughter. It's not too many people that's gonna let their daughter wear grown woman nails, a halter top, and a full face of makeup. I just don't see it. So why is it okay for his child to walk out like that at 12 years old? Like it's not cool. It's like, can you imagine if our parents gave us everything we wanted at 12 years old? We probably wouldn't be in the position we're in now. Like your opinion change, when you're young versus you don't think the same as a grown man how you think as a child. I feel like, it's levels to that. Like your child's gay and he talked to you and he said he want to come out as gay. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not homophobic at all, but I just feel like a child should remain in a child's place. You shouldn't go through with that. A sex change is a life-altering decision. You can't come back from that. So you shouldn't let a 12-year-old make that. And two, you shouldn't be parading a 12-year-old out there like he's a grown man or woman. That's not cool. It's like if you're doing that now, it's like that child don't have nothing to look forward to when he becomes older. So that's why it looks like he exploiting his child. And it's sad to say that. I'm glad he's supporting his child because we often see men cast out their sons when, they find out their son's gay. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I understand it's a tough pill to swallow, but casting out your son from the family is just going to make things worse on him. So I commend him for being there for his child, but I feel like going through with a sex change for a 12-year-old kid is the wrong thing to do.
Let's make sure we get this right because Sheila Internet right. She didn't undergo a sex change. Just say that I identify now as a woman or a female or a girl. And instead of saying he, call me she. Instead of calling me, I forget the name. Was before.
Zaire.
Was Zaire?
I think it's Zaire.
No, Zaire like the oldest one.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Well, just
the baby
just
name
get it.
Zaire.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm with you, Swift. Just get it corrected because I was gonna correct it too. That's definitely something that we should pay respect. I'll say that much. Yeah, definitely respect. You don't have to like it, but show respect, definitely.
But as far as Dwayne Wade campaigning with this child and putting this child out on the forefront at 12, 13 years old, I think that's what we're really trying to get into. Like, how do y'all feel about Dwayne Wade taking this stance with this child and parading him around in media? Because the media can be tough. And we all see it every day. Social media can be tough. Even keeping things like this in the household, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you want to support your child, support your child. But putting them in the forefront of the media and social media in front of the world, I think that's really what I have an issue with. I don't know about y'all, but if anybody else want to chime in on that, T look a little
All right, man. Fuck it. Y'all don't want to say it, man. D Wade.
Hold on, T. Okay. I think she need to go last. Rob, you want to chime in for me?
All right. So I'm glad that we got the correction done. Everybody made some parallels to Magic Johnson and his son, who didn't want to have a pronoun change, but did come out, as gay and living his life, etc. Magic Johnson just kind of let him do his thing, and kind of let it flow how he wanted it to flow. I have the gift of seeing both sides as far as D Wade trying to show, the younger kids this, et cetera, but at the same time, I'm very protective of my children. I don't want them to have any unnecessary attention from me that can cause them to be bullied or that can cause them to, have any adverse actions happening to them. And so if my child is going through something like that, I want to do everything I can to protect my child. And so what I see as protection may be something different than what D Wade sees as protection. But what I see as protection is not putting my child on the TV all the time. That's just what I see as protection. I'm glad it's died down, but when it was happening, I didn't like it because it just seemed to be a media run when I didn't think it needed to be.
Go ahead, T. Time in.
Well, I don't calm down a little bit, man. I was gonna say something about D Wade, man, and
need some more wine.
Nah, I'm good, man. I like what Green said in the comments. He said that they were trying to get out in front of it. They were trying to be proactive. You know what I'm saying? Because if it came out later and they never said nothing about it, it might have been a shit show. So
I can't agree with that because
I was just about to say that. I can't agree with that because listen,
sex people having sex changes and saying, "Don't call me a man, call me a woman." That's every day nowadays. Like there's no issue with that whatsoever.
Okay, but the problem that I have is that little boy, girl is too developed, bro. Like, where does this person get all this information from at 12? And I'm not talking about like feeling like a girl. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's natural. But all the way that baby explains it, like this is, you know, like they were really explaining like they 26 years old or something. Like they really had the terminology. And I'm like, this kid is 12. When does the kid actually gets a chance to be a kid? We're growing up too fast. The problem is not with him wanting to be a her. The problem is D-Wade parading that baby across TV, trying to make this a media press run. He a lame, D-Wade a lame. I don't care what y'all say. You know what I'm saying? Raise your baby how you want to raise your baby. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But again, the public is not your friend. Y'all handle that in-house. And then when that baby is grown, 18 or whatever, he want to come out on Snapchat and do his thing, so be it. But D-Wade should not be putting his baby on Front Street and making that baby the face of transgender kids at all.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the comments real quick before we go to Jay Ward. Do you want to say something on this, Jay Ward?
Go ahead, go to the comments first, then I'll come in.
Green, he doing the right thing. If it gets out what he's doing, he would be embarrassed. Y'all viewing this from the wrong standpoint. Michael Braxton, how much of this D-Wade and how much is Gabrielle Union? That's a good question. We'll come back to that one. And Hawkins, they are really trying to support him more so emotionally than anything or her. The world is cruel, but I think they are just trying to support her. This may be her only support at this time. Trina, I think D-Wade more so trying to let parents know it's okay to still embrace and love your different child. That's a good point. I can kind of see the point in that one. Sheila, Antoinette Liddell, shout out to the AKAs, Gamma Row. Being supportive, in my opinion, was showing that while the world may not accept you and torment you, I'm here as a father and family has your back. Too many kids face this dilemma and don't have family and then end up on the streets and even commit suicide.
The world wouldn't have known. The world wouldn't have known.
Let me see if anything else I want to bring up. Trina B, I have a son. He's 16. Where you go? If I had to carry me at 12, say I'm a woman, then you would have still like a kid. Be a kid and let's wait until you're older and have at least went through your hormonal change so you know it's real. Okay. 2 more comments. Christian Barnes, we live in a world with a lot of exposure. I don't feel like he's parading his son. What's wrong with support? And Keith Bush, children are exposed to massive amounts of sex, and that's what they learn from. Wade was dead wrong, but now that's possibly pushing her towards transition. Talk to me, Jay Ward.
All right, so first, I'm gonna go back to what brought this topic up with the whole Boosie thing. And Boosie constantly exposes his children to sex through his music. He has parties, sexually infused parties, and things like that. And the media, and not to villainize the media, but the media is always exposing children to things. But I work in the school, and I work in middle schools, high schools, elementary schools. And I've heard one of my students, his friend committed suicide in 7th grade over something similar to this. As a parent and a teacher, I would rather be there for that kid through whatever they're going through and help them navigate that than to have that kid commit suicide through bullying. But I've always felt like there's a way to carry yourself through whatever you're going through. I have a 14-year-old daughter. She ain't wearing no halter top outside. And I tell her all the time, like, hey, baby, go put some shorts on. Because she likes to wear the little tights and things like that. So whether I had a boy or a girl at 14, you're not going to expose your body outside.
Right.
So I want you to understand that. And here's something else that I heard, not from us, but just when this whole thing dropped. D Wade's daughter never said that she was about to start sleeping with boys or men. It wasn't about sex, it was about choosing gender. And a lot of times kids at 12, like, even like T was saying, you might not even really know at 12. I had a student in 7th grade. Her whole thing was, I'm a lesbian, I'm a lesbian, I'm a lesbian. Now she's grown and she's married with children. And so, you go through different phases and things like that. So I think there is a way to publicly and privately support your child without putting it on display, but we're not celebrities. D Wade is. And so people were going to comment and make their own assumptions either way. So like Green was saying, they were trying to just get ahead of what was going on and just, but, it's such muddy water. But I do know that I see children all the time that have no sense of belonging, and they're sad and they're depressed at schools because they don't fit in with anyone. So imagine not fitting in at school, then to go home and your parents shun you because of the decisions that you make. At one point, I wanted to be a rollerblader. I wanted to be a skater. And my mom's really supported me through that. She knowing that I'm, I weigh 285 pounds. You're not about to be no skater. But she supported me through that. And once I realized that I couldn't go up the ramp and all that, I made a different choice. Right. And I think, you want to love your children. I think where it comes in with men, we want those rites of passage. We want to hear about the son getting his first kiss with a woman. We want to hear about, hey, Dad, I tried out for the football team. We want those rites of passage, and that's great. But if your child does not fit those social norms, then you have to be there to support those children. And with us as normal, not famous people, we don't have to deal with it in the public. But because Dwayne Wade and his wife Gabrielle Union are famous, every decision that they make with their children is going to be put on a wide scale frame. So we have to
disagree with that, Jay Ward. I disagree. Just
you have no other choice but to see.
Hold on, think about it. Jordan Kidd said, and Jordan, think about the documentary. You got Jordan and Juanita who shielded Marcus, Jeffrey, and Jasmine from the media. You have,
but they didn't have social media. They didn't have social media at the time.
You still had access to media, my guy. That's all I'm gonna say.
But not on your cell phone. Not every 5 minutes.
We'll do.
Hold on. We're gonna wrap it up because it's getting a little late. So
well, let me just say this. Before you say this, Will, I just say I big ups. I big up D Wade and Gabrielle for supporting him or her. But at the same time, like you guys say, some things should not be put out there because she is or he is a child as of right now. Some things you should work, talk about at home, even though you have the platform to be that spokesperson for a particular situation or event. Doesn't mean that you always have to be that champion for it, because it can cause trauma or damage to that child. Either they could have stepped out, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle, not even the child, just them saying that we are parents of a child of the LGBTQ community, things of that nature, instead of putting the child out there. But I just say it's okay to support your child and love your child for what they're doing. But at the same time, protect your children from the social media and all the public relation nightmares that may happen. And they still have the rest of their lives to live.
I'm gonna go to the comments and then we go to the last topic and try to wrap it up. JP Dunn Jay said it looks like they've taken that option away. Michael Gates, as parents, it's our responsibility to censor what our child sees and experience. Preston, I just think media teaches kids, as much as we like to say, I love horror movies, but I'm not a killer. Michael Gates, we can only do so much because they're going to see it out in the streets, but we still have their responsibility. I saw another one. I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to move on. Atisa McKinney, they don't have to make it a media spectacle. There are multiple celebrities that keep their children out of the spotlight.
One last thing. Children are off limits, bro. You know what I'm saying? So everybody talking about they couldn't keep the media from talking about that baby, that's not really true, bro. Because in the end, kids are women, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the media usually goes with that until the kid is, 18 or so. And then
you gotta get permission from the parents.
Exactly. So I don't know about that one, man. Like I said, if we don't have a problem with being gay or any of that, none of the brothers on here have a problem with people being gay, homophobic, all that stuff. The problem is that we feel that as a parent, you should shield your children from certain things, and the media is not your friend. You make one statement about it, let your publicist talk about it. You don't have to go parading on 50 different TV shows trying to shine.
It's worse. It's worse now because of the overexposure of social media.
But that boy has his own, or that girl, I'm sorry, that young lady has her own social media and her own following. So whether or not the parents jumped on or not, people were going to start talking about, why does D Wade's son dress like a girl? It was going to come out either way.
And that's something that you talk about. Following. But that's something that you either choose to talk about within your home. You can say no comment. That's something that we deal with within our home. I allow my son, daughter to choose to dress the way he or she chooses to dress. And that's something that we address within our home.
Or you can tell the interviewer, I beat your ass if you talk about my brother.
Amen.
Because that's not right.
Can't do that.
Rob brought up Magic Johnson. We didn't hear about, Magic Johnson's son, EJ, being gay until he was older, until he was more mature. We hearing about D Wade's son at 12 years old. People saying that he was just showing support, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's cool, but you ain't got to show that support on no talk show. You can show that support in your household. I don't have no problem with showing that support and being there for your child, but you can do that in your house. You don't have to.
But then imagine that kid coming to him saying, "Well, Dad, you ashamed of me?"
Heavens,
because I don't want to talk about it in the media.
You don't want to talk about me.
We all in my brother loving on you.
One at a time.
You talk about my brother all the time.
Listen, one at a time. That's the problem. That's the problem with media now. You don't owe media nothing that goes on in your household. The only reason he talks about the oldest child is because the oldest child plays basketball. That's the only commentary he gives about the oldest child. You ain't gotta know shit about what's going on in my house. D Wade didn't talk about having that motherfucking side, baby. He knew about that shit. Shit, why would we talk about that? Let's keep it funky.
Definitely shielded that.
And honestly, we may have heard about Magic Johnson's son maybe once or twice, maybe a week, and then it blew over, and we didn't hear about that no more. And now he's really a fashion icon in the fashion industry for what he wears and how he portrays himself.
That's cool,
and that's fine. But let's get off this topic because this is
hurry up, change.
So, moving on to the next topic, we've talked about can men have standards. We talked about what is considered marriage material. We talked about marriage as the goal for men. But to get to that point of even being married, you have to date. And I think that one of the part of the thing about dating is you might talk to somebody, texting all day and night, and all of a sudden you don't hear from them no more. And what that's considered ghosting in today's age and society. So,
can I go first, Swift?
Let me wrap. Let me go. Let me ask you a question. So, in 2020, is it okay to ghost someone? You're talking. Do you owe that person anything to hit them back up again? Is it okay to ghost somebody? Go ahead, Jay Ward.
I'm gonna go ahead on and give my piece, and I'm gonna switch off because my internet is all type of trash tonight. I do feel like it just depends on how far you've gone with that person. If you've spent so much time with this person, you do owe them an explanation as to why you don't want to continue the relationship. I feel like you should be man enough or woman enough to say, "Hey, it's just not working. I feel this, and this, or I met this other person or whatever." I don't think you should just leave that other person wondering, because that leads to the whole leading you on problem, where a lot of women feel like men lead them on. So I think excuse me, I think that you should just tell that person that, look, I'm not interested because of this, this, and this, and this. I don't think you should abandon them. It's not really ghosting if you've only went on one date or you only had one phone conversation. I don't think it's really ghosting. But I'm gonna head out, y'all. My internet is being really shaky tonight. I'm about to jump on the comments though, and I'll address a lot of the things that I wanted to say. I'll address those on the comments.
Okay.
Switch me out for E.
No, you're not even in the comments.
Oh, okay, great.
But just stay on. We'll see if you want to get in the comments. That's fine. You can do what you got to do. But I'm gonna slide to somebody else. It's ghosting okay, and whether it be 1 date, 2 dates, 20 dates, or that person anything is ghosting okay. Do you have to hit the person back up?
Ghosting is not okay, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially at our age, you should be able to communicate, and let people know what's going on. So I would say that ghosting is not okay. Now, have I ghosted somebody before? Yes, I have ghosted somebody before. And the reason why I ghosted this one person, I only did this once in my life. You got to believe me here. But the only reason why I ghosted that person, because I really didn't want to hurt that person's feelings. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I ghosted that person, because that person was for the streets, like Future said. And I found out that person was for the streets, and it was too late. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to, get on up out of there. So I do not agree with ghosting, man. I believe that y'all should not ghost people. You know what I'm saying? But have I done it before? I have. Honestly, I'm done. I'm out. I can't talk no more about this, man.
I'm gonna go to the comments real quick before I go to the next person. Michael Braxton said, "Ghosting like your name was Casper." Alicia Franklin said, "No, it's not okay to ghost someone. Just tell them you don't want to talk to them anymore and move on." Gooch, okay, I see you. Ghost them and no hard feelings. Bush said, "Nope, I don't owe you shit, especially if you turn out to be complete trash." All right, Bush. Sheila Annette Liddell said ghosting is for children. And one more. Aaron Nicole Davis. Some people do not deserve any explanation.
Right. Right.
I see y'all nodding. So what does that mean? Some people you don't owe them no explanation whatsoever. How do you even get to that point?
Listen, we talked about last week, right? About it being okay to date multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty sure, like T said, I've ghosted a few people in my day. Listen, if you talking to multiple people, when you pick the person you want to talk to, you're gonna tell every one of the people who you had a conversation with that you moved on from them. You don't want to talk to them no more. People don't do that. Men nor women do that. It been times where, like, let's be real, you will talk to a woman and you'll think everything going okay. You'll shoot her a text message and she not responding to your shit. And you see her on social media hugged up with somebody else. Shit, that's happening. That's life. It is what it is. You take that L and you move on.
She got back with it.
Yeah, she got back with her ex. Like, man, you didn't tell me, but hey, it's all good. I'm gonna move on. So it's like people don't owe you no explanation. Everybody don't owe you shit. It's like that's a grown person. They decided not to talk to you anymore. It depends on how much you're invested in this person. It can be messed up, but at the same time, you gotta pick your pants up and move on. Like that's just about being an adult and accepting that everything is not going to go your way. Like if you put in on the flip side of that, if you're putting in a lot of work with somebody and y'all been talking for multiple months, then you don't hear about this person. Now that's wrong. I agree, that's completely wrong. Like you're owed an explanation at that point. But if you're just casually dating, I don't think you're owed an explanation.
And y'all said they got back with their ex, and somebody dropped a comment. Is it okay to be friends with your ex? I think we'll talk about that another time. I don't think we talked about it on this show yet. But I think that's a good topic to get into.
Yeah, that's another. That's next week.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I kind of agree with everybody. Honestly, let's be real. We've been ghosted and we've ghosted others. I don't care what age you're at. Like you said, when you're in that dating phase or either just getting to know somebody, you exchange numbers, you meet somebody. It can be the smallest thing that they've said in a conversation, or it may be something you see them do, or it just may be you not feeling that vibe or their energy, you know, and hey, that just ends the conversation. Now, it depends on if you're deeply involved, as Jay Ward said before he got off, a relationship. Now, if you just up and duck out of a relationship, then you know that's foul play right there. But just up and kind of meet somebody, y'all not even on that level, you know what I'm saying? Y'all still talking to getting to know each other. Hey, you don't owe anybody an explanation, but if y'all have kind of developed a rapport, you communicate then and say, hey, I know we've been talking for about a good, 4-5 months. Man, your vibe, I'm not feeling your vibe. And I do ask a lot of motherfuckers, hey, is it something I'm doing wrong? You're not feeling me? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I be trying to learn. So before you ghost me, let me know.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the comments real quick. Then I'm gonna let Rob and E close us out so we can get on about this.
Bruh.
Right.
Hold on, E.
If there is no
E,
agreement,
shut up.
Hello, E.
I'll being exclusive.
Muted. Because he don't listen. He muted. Don't worry about it. Jess Fallon said, learn to communicate. Keith Bush said, ghost. Where you go? Keith Bush said, ghostness for specific situations. Gold diggers, ones that you're trying to friend zone you, hookers and basic trash. Okay. Leticia McKinney says, sometimes it ghost people, especially if they are toxic. There is no such thing as toxic. Words of Future. He just dropped the album today too. Alicia Franklin just commented, I guess I consider ghosting only when you've been talking to someone for a while and then you stop hearing from them. Someone you talk to a couple times and then it drops off, I don't consider that ghosting. Okay. Go ahead, E. Go ahead, Rob.
All right, so I heard what everybody said. I kind of agree with everybody, but what we have to realize is what you mean to somebody doesn't necessarily be the same as what that person means to you. So you may think, y'all in a good relationship, but not a relationship. You may think y'all closer than what you are, but you may be wrong. I've been ghosted before, and I've ghosted many people before. Some people you got to ghost because they just ain't gonna let you go. Like you can tell them, yeah, I'm in a relationship. Yeah, this person I can settle down, and they gonna still keep coming for you. So you should know the person you're dealing with, and you just need to, take off. And I think that's okay. I honestly don't think anybody owes anybody anything. I don't care how long you've been talking. You don't really. No one owes me any explanation if they decide to peace out on me. I got to take the L and I got to move on. And so that's how I treat everybody. If I ghosted you, you just got to take the L. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
That's real. Close us out.
Take the L to the chin, bro.
Close us out. Last comments.
Got to. For real.
Last comment, E.
He ain't got no.
Last comments.
I'm just saying, bro. Just think about it, right? Okay, you talking to somebody, right? There's no agreement that y'all are exclusive, right? What do you owe that person? What do they owe you? Nothing. So what you bitching about?
All right,
Because
so
your feelings hurt.
with all,
Bro, it don't matter.
This has been
It doesn't matter at that point. Take your L to the chin, move on. It's probably somebody out there that's probably better for you, or somebody that's willing to fit you better. Somebody that's supposed to be in your life at that time. Because sometimes, man, just because she fine, she ghosts you, oh well. This is part of life. You know what I'm saying? When you in the dating game, it's just like shooting dice. Sometimes you hit the point, sometimes you crap out.
Hey.
Same thing. It's the same thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm hot and I'm shooting them, I'm on them bitches. The dice.
Listen, it's like a double-edged sword. You ghost, you've been ghosted before. Thanks. It's like people love talking about y'all niggas always ghosting people. It ain't cool or blah. Women will stop talking to your ass and get back
like
with
that.
Baby daddy like
fast.
And want
fast.
Quick.
So it's like, and you gotta look like, damn man, I took that.
You'll be like, damn girl, I talked to your ass when.
Right?
Hell
So
no.
you gotta hold that L, be like, damn, that's fucked up, but hey, it is what it is, and
That's
move
why when
on.
you
That's
and
date,
block
you only supposed to
and
take
block
their
your
ass
ass.
to Starbucks. Starbucks
kind of
only, bro.
block that ass. You don't want to see that shit on your social media feed.
So to wrap it all up,
Starbucks dates only.
go. Shut
That's
up.
where you get to fill them out for $10. You get to see what they mind about.
So to wrap this all up, because we
Say
be all
that, E.
yeah, we're gonna say that one. E. Ghosting is cool. Take your L and move on. So I want y'all to give your final thoughts on everything we talked about tonight, from the top on down. E, I mean not E. T, shout out your shirt. I see you wearing your law. So
Yeah, man. This the live shirt, man, for everybody in the hometown, 3944, that live Mississippi. You can get it on hustlehardcampaign.com. You know, my boy Crowley got on the hustle grind time shirt, you know what I'm saying? So you know, and I want to say I don't give these shirts to the bruh, bro. Like they really support me. I appreciate the bruhs for shopping with me, getting hats, getting shirts, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, man. Live, you know what I'm talking about.
final thoughts, T.
Marriage material, I think we touched on that, man. It's real important that the woman that you choose to be with for the rest of your life actually is a helpmate. I think that we talked about the D-Wade situation and the Boosie situation, and both of them are wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to support your kids, you know what I'm saying? But Boosie tripping, D-Wade tripping, both of them wrong. Wrong is wrong. That's fine. What else did we talk about? What's the first one?
Standards.
Standards. Men can have standards. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem when we do have standards, but I believe everybody should have standards. Like my line brother said, Rob, we should have high standards. Everybody should have high standards for the person that they choose to be with. Real talk.
Crow.
I'm gonna say this about standards. Know who you are first before you even try to set your standards high. If you have a lot going on, a lot of just a lot of unnecessary stuff, don't be looking for $1 million man and you only worth a couple $100, and vice versa for a man. Don't be looking to get saved by $1 million woman and you only got 2 cents to your name. So know your value, know your worth, and then set your standards. When it comes to marriage material, just know yourself and know what you will and what you won't do. For me, it's through thick and thin, loyalty, and then also what do we touch on? Ghosting. I just say, hey, if you're not vibing a person, try to be honest with them. But if not, hey, keep it moving. They'll be all right. Hopefully, everybody grown. And anything I miss?
That's about it.
Thank you, Cole.
That's a
Go ahead.
all right. Deuces.
Go ahead, E.
My turn.
Mhm.
No. Yes.
Go.
Oh, I can't hear Swift.
It's your turn.
Yeah, go E. Go E.
Oh, okay.
Why
I'm
dead
agree
ass
with.
boy?
I'm agree with
Country
T.
ass boy.
You know what I'm saying? As far as like the standard situation goes, you know, I think he touched on pretty much everything. It's all about like assets versus liabilities. When it comes to finding that perfect partner. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
All right, Rob.
All right. If y'all didn't get nothing out of this that I said, protect your young boys just like you protect your daughters. There is no double standard when it comes to how you treat your daughters, how you protect your daughters, as to how you protect, watch over, and protect your son. I want to stress that as much as possible, and I'm going to keep beating that drum until they kick me off social media. Second thing is Body Explosion Fitness and more. I'm going to drop the link in the comments. That's my baby's page. She getting me right. She teaches classes every single day, sometimes 2 times a day. So if you're trying to get right health-wise, look her up. Look up her page. We'll send you an invite if you want to. She's the truth. Appreciate it.
Cool.
We touched on a lot of good topics, but I want to point out again that it is definitely okay for a man to have high standards. The only thing about it is make sure you're willing to be able to accept what you're requesting and make sure you're in a position to be able to support what you're requesting. Secondly, a child should remain in a child's place. You should let that child enjoy being a child before they make any adult decisions. Two, ghosting is another form of rejection. You know, it doesn't feel good to be rejected, but that's a part of life. And you know, you have to move forward after every rejection. If you get rejected, you can't stop moving. You got to continue to move forward. And as far as marriage material is concerned, everybody have a different answer to that question, but you want somebody who's respectful. You want someone you can be vulnerable to, and you want someone that's don't make bad decisions with money.
All right, I'm gonna close it out with this. I'm not gonna go on the topics we talked about tonight, but my hat is from Gia LaFrance. Ladies, check her out, Gia LaFrance, on social media. And Rob touched on something, and it made me look up some things about protecting your daughter. I want to say prayers to Lambda Beta and the family of Phoenicia, her last name, Phoenicia Ratliff. Domestic violence is not okay in any situation, whether it be a man putting his hands on a woman or a woman putting her hands on a man. I think she was fatally shot by her ex-boyfriend /
Swift.
Yep.
Let me chime in and also add verbal abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse. Those are definitely looked over because we only think of physical abuse when it comes to abuse. Right. So let's consider those amongst other things that we deal with within our relationship, such as personality disorders too, that causes abuse. So I'll let you continue.
So no type of abuse whatsoever is should be tolerated. Protect your daughters, protect your sons, protect your sorors, your fraternity brothers, because this was a tragic situation that could have been avoided. I know she filed charges on the guy. He got out of jail and went and found her immediately. So prayers to Lambda Beta and prayers to her family, because this is not okay. And we really need to address domestic violence in the Black community as soon as possible. And
yeah, we definitely got to cover that and a whole lot. I think we should just dedicate a whole show to that, to be honest.
Yeah. We'll talk about it in the group chat.
Hey, Swift, Jay Ward didn't get the close out, so I want to close out for Jay Ward.
Give us the Jay Ward perspective.
Yes.
Oh shit.
I am Jay Ward.
Shit.
Derek. I'm the Derek Jackson of the group, and I just want to say that all you women should have high standards, and woman is always right. And you know, just know that men are trash. And, yeah, I'm Jay Ward. Good night, people. Good night, people.
We appreciate y'all for chiming in, man. Sign us off, Swift. Man, we'll see y'all next Friday, man. Appreciate y'all.
Chime in with us next week at the same time. Y'all have a good night.
Much love, people. Appreciate y'all for y'all time, man. Y'all